Do you know that we are being boycotted by the entire world for tourism? We lost approximately $21 billion just in 2025 in tourism. Now I want you to multiply that by 4. Let me put some perspective on that. Our largest group of visitors are Canadians. They spend $20 billion every single year. And what that does for the US economy is it creates about 150,000 jobs. 150,000 jobs. Let me give you some perspective. In 2025, Trump only created 550,000 jobs. You can see where that 150 would be very important, right? Well, in 2024, Biden created 2.1 million. So we need jobs in the US that we're not going to have because of Canadians, other countries boycotting us, and Trump. That 150,000 jobs, also, the rest of the economy was stimulated by hundreds of thousands of jobs more. Specifically, Las Vegas, their number one industry is tourism. If you do not think that a tourism boycott is going to be catastrophic to the USA, you are not paying attention. Have you canceled your trip here? Many are saying the World Cup is going to be an absolute disaster. That would have brought us extra revenue, which would have attributed to extra jobs. We are desperate for job creation in this country, and it's not going to happen. Hi, my name is Christina. I have a master's degree in business. Drop a comment. America faces a tourism crisis in 2025. Foreign visitors choose safer, easier destinations. The last time I checked at the actual numbers of cancellations to the United States, it was over 1 million foreign travelers, both business travelers and people coming for fun. About a month ago, it was predicted that we were going to lose almost $13 billion in tourism alone in the United States of America. Were you planning on coming to the United States and you've canceled your travel, either as a Canadian or from another country? People following me, did you know there is a boycott of the United States of America? Do you know that tourism is a huge industry in the United States of America, and it is top industry in places like Las Vegas and different places? It is going to be catastrophic and devastating to our economy. It will ripple through because it will cause layoffs, it will cause businesses to close, it will cause no hiring. It is going to be an avalanche that at this point, I don't know if we can stop. Forget about the ICE raid, people dying in detention centers that are from other countries. It is not looking good for tourism in 2020.
What if I told you the world is quietly sending a message to America? Not with protests, not with speeches, but with cancelled flights, empty hotel rooms, and boycotted vacations. Right now, conversations are exploding online as reports suggested. A growing global tourism boycotting targeting the United States. And some MAGA supporters are not talking about it. Right. Is it political revenge? Is it economic pressure? Or is just media exaggeration? Today, on Liquor's Take, we are breaking down what's really happening and why this moment is making waves across America. Stay with me.
Canada and the Canadian people, your boycott on tourism in the United States explained right now. Canada and the Canadian people, let's do some hard numbers. Last year, 2024, you brought in $20 billion in money to the United States with your tourism, okay? And purchasings of stuff around the tourist industry. That's a lot. Whether you're talking about going into different national parks, you're talking about going to Disney World, anything. $20 billion last year, okay? What does that look like in the practicality? That was 140,000 jobs that were created to support you guys coming into the continental United States. What does that look like as far as we had 20 million Canadians coming into the United States? Now, I've been posting about Canada and the outcome of the boycott, and I've had hundreds of people commenting about how they're traveling to other countries to spite the boycott and make sure they didn't spend their money in the United States. Canada, please comment, repost this, follow me for more.
So a couple of days ago, I saw a headline talking about how Air Transat has decided to cut back on all of their routes going to the United States during the summertime, right? And I saw so many people, Canadians, getting excited because it was like, yes, this means the boycott was working and blah, blah. And I was like, well, yeah, kind of, but not like 100%. That's the reason why. Like, yes, Canadians are definitely boycotting traveling to the United States, but we're still only at like, it's not like, not even 50% of us boycotting travel to the United States. People are still going, right? So I realized that like, this isn't 100% because of the boycott. This is because with specific airlines like Air Transat and Sunwing and stuff, they are vacation specific. So they sell like entire packages for people to go away to sunny destinations. And a lot of people don't go to a lot of sunny destinations during the summertime. We have sun and sand and beaches here that we can hang out onto, right? Why are you going to go somewhere that's even hotter than Canada during the summer, right? So they tend to cut back on their routes anyways. A lot of times what these companies will do is that they'll, like during the winter time, they'll make deals with other airlines overseas. So like, hey, we'll send our planes to you guys during the summertime, and during the wintertime, you can send us planes and pilots and stuff, right? So for me, hearing that they were going to cut back during the summer to U.S. routes is like, yeah, that's really not that surprising because they already have like fewer people traveling during the summer. So with the boycott now, it just, yeah, makes sense. But then I saw that Air Canada was going to be reducing even more of the U.S. routes. And I went, oh, well, okay. So I guess the boycott really is making a big, significant difference. I mean, the other stuff still could be true because they're like Air Transat, I think, is getting rid of all of their routes to the U.S. over the summer. But the fact that Air Canada is now even cutting back. So keep it up. Keep it up, Canadians, because your voice is very well heard.
This goes out to all my people who have plans to come to the United States or want to come travel to the United States and are like on the fence about it and don't know what to do with everything going on here. Don't come. My recommendation is to 100% boycott this country. Do not spend any money here. Do not plan any travels here. Show them that the world does not need the United States because they don't. So please just boycott. Boycott.
So here is what's happening. There is increasing online campaign and discussion in places like Canada and part of Europe where travelers say they are considering trip to the US. Some city political tension at that point to social media issue. Gun violence, concern or disagreement with leadership connected to Donald Trump and broader MAGA movement. Now, here it is where to get intense. A supporter of the MAGA movement argue this media propaganda. They say America doesn't depend on outsider opinions. They believe the country will remain strong regardless of boycotts. But criticize, argue tourism is a serious business. Billions of dollars flow into social economic every year. Hotels, restaurants, Uber drivers, small business, regular working American depend on that money. So the real question is, if global tourism slow down, who actually feels it the most? Politicians or everybody, everyday workers? And online reaction are emotional. Some MAGA voters feel targeted, others doubling down, saying we don't need them. But in a global economy, can any country truly afford isolation? That's the biggest conversation.
Did you know that many countries around the world have travel advisories against coming to the US? It is considered unsafe to set foot in the US. Many countries are actively warning their citizens not to travel here for as long as Donald Trump is in charge. Due to our lack of freedoms, the United States is no longer considered a first world country. We can't afford health care, we have excessive gun violence and school shootings, and we are deporting people all day, every day, for no reason at all. People are being detained and brutalized. US citizens, our own citizens. So it should come as no surprise that people all over the world wouldn't dream of setting foot in our country.
One of the things that Republicans promised us when they took over the House, the Senate, the White House, everything, they're like, no more government losing money. We're going to have a prosperous government. We're going to make the cuts we need to. We're going to balance the budget, and the government is going to be wealthy. So wealthy that Donald Trump said, we're going to start a sovereign wealth fund, right? We're going to have so much money, we're going to have to put it in a savings account for the first time ever. Oh boy, just money coming out the wazoo. Well, it turns out, according to reports this week, Donald Trump has already spent $155 billion more than Biden had at this point in his presidency. Elon Musk readjusted his figures to say we're not going to be able to save $2 trillion. We might save $150 billion, which has already been offset by the fact that Trump increased spending by $155 billion. So we're still losing money. But according to the financial analysts at Goldman Sachs, the U.S. economy is about to lose a lot more money than that. In fact, we've already...
At the end of the day, this is not just about politics. This is about perception. It is about economic. It is about how America is seen on global stage. Is it this boycotting is real, or is growing just social media noise? I want to hear from you guys. Do you think global tourism can actually impact America's economy, or will this change nothing at all in the United States? Drop your thought in the comments. If you appreciate the real conversations like this without fear, please subscribe to Recastek, because here we don't just react. You have to know that we don't just react. We analyze, we do many things that will show you the real world in politics and trend in the United States. Please remember that. This is Recastek. See you in the next one. I love you guys.